I want you to think of the last time that you watched a movie that you would categorize as a thriller. The kind of movie where the suspense is to such a degree that you're on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen next, and the ending leaves your heart rate soaring for maybe a few hours. These movies or shows, they can be fun. But have you ever rewatched one of these? And if you have, I'm going to guess that the thrill or the suspense was not quite the same the second time. The movie was probably still good, and it probably was still entertaining to watch, but you already knew how it was going to end. There were no more surprises. Your life is not a thriller movie, but it can be filled with its fair share of surprises. Sometimes those surprises are good. Sometimes those surprises are difficult. Life doesn't always turn out the way that you planned, and you certainly can't control everything about your future. That can be a tough thing to deal with, and it can leave you feeling somewhat helpless at times. Although you don't know the future, although you can't control your future, and although you can't prevent certain things from happening to you, you do have the promises of God. And one thing we know about God's promises is that He always keeps them. So when He makes a promise, you know that it is true, you know that it will happen, and you know that you can trust it. When God promises that you are forgiven in Him, you are. When God promises to be with you, He is. When God promises to work all things out for your good, He will. When God promises that He will provide and protect you, He will. When God promises to hear your prayers always, He does. You may not know the future, but you know with certainty what is true. It's almost as if you've seen the movie before. And in this movie, you know that God wins and His promises are true. In essence, you know what the Apostle Paul says in Romans 8, verse 31. If God is for us, who can be against us? There is no enemy that is a match for God. There is no enemy that can nullify or invalidate God's promises. That truth gives you confidence to face life, knowing that no matter what you go through, the Lord Himself is your help. He is your defender. His promises to you are true, and He is your Savior.